Another possible outcome of having mass workplace democracy would be that you could, under a future system, integrate economic planning, regional, federal, etc. planning of what we produce, how we produce it, when we produce it, etc. on a far more easier possibility, because you could have representatives that have been chosen from each company and each trade that would be a member of a higher, more regional workers' council, and then they would also delegate representatives to an even higher federation of councils, and so that you could essentially massively plan for parts of the economy. As a socialist, ultimately, we don't believe in having the market dictate what is produced, when it is produced, how it is produced, the investment, etc. We believe in democratic participatory planning as being needed much more than what happens now, where we allow the market to do it to a large degree. And so workplace democracy would, in effect, in my view, spark the beginning of the end of capitalism if it was implemented properly in Britain, and if everyone started to become class conscious and started to think that what can only be described as the most fundamental expression of democracy, which is that you should have a say over things that affect you to the extent that they affect you. When you spend 40 hours a week or more or a little bit less at work, you should have a level of control. You should be able to contribute and have democratic participation in those decisions proportionate to the degree to which they affect you, which should operate on the principle of one worker, one vote, and should be having regular meetings with staff so that issues can be debated, motions can be raised and voted upon where necessary. And all staff would have a legal right to elect management, to interview and elect management. A few more outcomes of having workplace democracy. Another one that's not mentioned frequently, but it is true, would be that the sharing of information would be far better. Or as an owner of the company, you would be given, all staff would share in the knowledge of how the company is performing, what the goals are, where we want to be, etc. In the current system, management and directors and owners might not want employees to know some of that information, because if they did, like if they did know how well the company was performing, they might ask for more salary and more pay. So important data regarding the company would be shared equally among all staff in a healthy, cooperative and natural manner, not in the completely unnatural manner that it exists now, where workers and bosses have opposing interests to a large degree. But the structure of a modern company produces these anti-human, undemocratic and unnatural occurrences, which is why unquestionably it has to be overcome. Another benefit is that with workers having the ability to democratically decide on workplace policy and procedures, you would naturally vote to give all workers more autonomy and discretion in how to, carry out different tasks. And if there was a particular task or procedure that you felt as though you had a better, more efficient way of doing it, or if there was a part of the company that you felt could be improved, such as you may want a better, more efficient and useful IT system, or you may want to invest in some new manufacturing equipment that would improve the speed and efficiency of production. You could bring it forward at the next workers' assembly or meeting. You could put it forward as a motion to discuss and to be debated. And then, if necessary, you could vote on it democratically. But under the current system, there is no mechanism where that could happen legally or where that would have to happen. Instead, you might ask your line manager, you might say, look, there's a way of doing this that I think is better or is more efficient, or let's copy best practice from another company or whatever. But they don't have to debate it with anyone. They don't have to discuss it or have a vote on whether they believe that is the best way forward. They can just say, no, tough crap. Do it the way that you've been trained. So not only will working conditions vastly improve because staff would vote to give themselves better pay, better benefits, better sick pay, greater working autonomy, a shorter working day, and longer breaks. So it would completely and utterly transform working life like you've never imagined, and far greater than a trade union could ever imagine as well. And all this because you're making workers owners of their companies, and with that, the legal right to control their conditions through a deliberative assembly, a workers' assembly, completely empowering the workforce and ending the fundamentally immoral distinction between a worker and an owner. If you like my videos and you want to hear more about socialism, radical anti-capitalism, and critical analysis of current events, please like, comment and subscribe. It helps to grow my channel. Thank you.